Welcome to the Ingress Insights podcast, hosted by PkmnTrainerJ. Ingress Insights is a podcast about the Niantic game Ingress. Listen each week for the latest news, updates and rumours. Let us know your thoughts by leaving a voice message or emailing us at the links in the show notes.
Additional intel available.
Hello agents and welcome to this episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. In this week's episode we're going all over the Plus Theta Anomaly series scores as well as the badges that are still available in the store, and we've had a few updates from the events Niantic's intended such as AWE, so I'll go over those and what they might mean for Ingress as well as any other little bits of news we've got too. A few small things before we do get into that. So you've seen this isn't episode 100 again. So I had some plans for episode 100 that unfortunately not been able to do, so my equipment failed. So episode 100 will be something slightly different, but something good that's still coming up next week. So do look forward to that. I also want to share my general Ingress progress at the moment as well. So as you know, I'm on my second recursion at level 14. I'm now on 5,032,019 AP, where I need 7 million to level up. So I should hopefully easily accomplish that by the end of the year and be back to 16 and to recurse yet again. That's all really from me, so I'll move into the general Plus Theta news now and go through the results for that.
What's up? This is Smooth Guy O, and you listen to the Ingress Insight podcast.
The Plus Theta Anomaly series ended last weekend when I was at Paris Pokemon Go Fair, so unfortunately couldn't cover the results as they were happening. However, I'm going through and recap what happened in the whole kind of overall series. So as mentioned previously, the Global Challenge campaign was won by the Resistance. So they got 101 points versus Enlightened's 99 points on there. The Anomaly in Manila was won by the Enlightened, who got 178.3 points versus Resistance's 71.7 points. And the Enlightened also won the Anomaly that time in Providence with 140.6 points versus Resistance 109.4 points. The skirmish in the EMEA region was won by the Resistance. They got 127.7 points versus Enlightened's 107.1 points. The AMER region skirmish was won by the Enlightened with 125.3 points versus 115.9 points from Resistance. And the APAC region, that was won by the Resistance with 146.7 points versus 107.7 points to Enlightened. Now, as I said, this past weekend we had the two final anomalies in Perth and Chemnitz. So Perth was won by the Enlightened with 156.2 points versus Resistance's 93.8 points. And then in Chemnitz, that was won by the Resistance with 131 points. And the Enlightened only got 119 points there. So if anybody's been doing very quick math there, that means the Resistance got 897.2 points. However, the Enlightened won the Plus Theta Anomaly series with 1,033.2 points. So, as mentioned, the Enlightened won the Plus Theta Anomaly. We don't know necessarily what that means. We did get a bit of lore I've mentioned a couple of times to say, as a dream deepens, time, memory, and experience swirl and recombine. What happened and what is true may not always be the same. A voice is growing stronger, shaping those it reaches, but this voice is sometimes contradictory. Every agent holds a string that crosses this threshold between the real and the imagined, vibrating with a reaction. So it's not clear what might happen there, whether what happens if the Enlightened win, what happens if the Resistance win. It's not clear if anything happens, so maybe we have to wait until the end of the Plus set of anomalies. We've got the Plus Delta season coming up next. But for now, Plus Theta is over, and we're waiting for the Plus Delta to start. We are technically still in the Plus Theta season, so you can still pick up badges and things like that, which I'll get into next. There's always a ton of badges available on Ingress events. So for this one, because we're now at the end of the Plus Theta Anomaly season, all the badges have been re-added to the store. So if you don't have any of the badges, you see 9 badges available to purchase. They all cost 30,800 CMU. So you've got the Ben Jackland bundle that comes with the badge for Ben Jackland in the neutral colours of pink and yellow, That gives 5 kinetic capsules as well as the badge and 2 portal fracas. Similarly, the Ada badge, that's the pink and yellow neutral, is back in the store. Again, Ada badge, 5 kinetic capsules, 2 fracas. There's also the Ada resistance bundle, and that comes with the Ada resistance medal and 10 Ada refractors instead of the usual kinetic capsules and stuff. And then you have the Roland Jarvis 2025 neutral badge, and again in the pink and yellow. And that's the badge, 5 kinetic capsules, 2 portal fracas. Whereas the Roland Jarvis Enlightened bundle is the badge and then 10 Jarvis viruses. So depending on what you need, you can opt for that. There's also the Plus Theta Supporter medal, again with 5 kinetic capsules and the 2 portal fracas, and the Plus Theta Core Supporter medal that you can only get if you've got Core, again coming with the 5 kinetic capsules and 2 portal fracas. There's 2 badges that are pulled from the archives, so that's the Roland Jarvis 2018 badge and the Ada 2017 badge. And they similarly come with the badge and then 5 kinetic capsules and 2 portal fracas. If you don't see those classic badges in the store, it means you've already got them through one way or another. Whether you bought a badge before, you've got a bundle, somehow you already have that badge, so just check your profile, it should already be on there. Those are all available until the 30th of June, 11:59 p.m. UTC. And you can also still buy the Plus Theta rewards campaign, the kind of premium battle pass, again for 30,800 CMU. That will unlock the premium tasks for you for wherever you've earned up to on that track. And you can purchase that until the 1st of July, 11:59 p.m. UTC. So if you do miss out, you can still pick that up. For me, I don't think there's any point in getting it. I'm not going to get many more Plus Data tokens, and the highest one I can get is achieving 5,500 Plus Data tokens to get me 100 level 8 Resonators, and the one before that is 80 level 8 XMP. So nothing amazing, things that I could get myself. I mentioned before, possibly not on the podcast, but in some Ingress chats, that I think it would have been better if one of the rewards was a Plus Data avatar or some Plus Data beacons, something exclusive you get on the premium track that would be useful and could be kind of showing off, peacocking, however you want to call it, to say, yes, I did this, I've got this badge, this exclusive avatar. But it's their first time doing a battle pass kind of thing, so obviously give them feedback in the app and let them know what you want to see, and they can hopefully get a bit of a better package for Plus Delta when we get that come, because I assume that will also have a premium pass with it as well. That's about all the news there is for Plus Data. You can still earn the Plus Data tokens by doing your daily tasks. You can get 60 a day. So I assume that will run until the 30th of June, 11:59 p.m. UTC. So if you are a few short and you want to get the gold badge, you can still do that. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless at the moment. I'd rather have the AP tasks and the item tasks back myself, but I guess it will just change to the Delta tokens or whatever you call them when that comes up. So I'll move into general Ingress news now.
Hey there, this is Jeff James, game designer from Marvel World of Heroes, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
Ingress and spatial news has been a bit all over the place this last couple of weeks, so I may be jumping back and forth on various things. The first thing I want to mention is there was some downtime in Ingress on the 12th of June as part of the Google Cloud outage that took down a lot of products. So that lasted for about 5 or 6 hours, and it's now all been fixed, but agents just started to panic when they couldn't log in, couldn't do anything on there. But it's all sorted. If you lost an item or anything like that, then obviously raise a ticket with support in the app, and they should be able to sort that out for you. If you were using an Apex, I don't know if they'll then refund that Apex to you, so you can actually get the AP that you were meant to. But it's worth a shot messaging the team and just seeing what they say. They should be able to detect what was going on in your game. Niantic Spatial, as a separate company now, obviously, attended the Augmented World Expo this month. So that's where there's AR and XR events going on, new things announced. We've had things there like Overclock and Scanner Crate shown off in the past. So Niantic Spatial did announce some deals and partnerships. The first one of those is with Snap, who you'll probably know for Snapchat and the spectacles they do. I think they're just Snap spectacles. So I'll read out the update on here. So Niantic, Spatial and Snap signed multi-year strategic partnership to build a shared AI-powered map of the real world. Niantic, Spatial, and Snapping have signed a strategic multi-year partnership to jointly build a next-generation AI map that will serve as the foundation for AR glasses and AR agents to understand, navigate, and interact with the real world. Snap will also support the geospatial AI startups funding with another additional investment of capital. So more money for Niantic Spatial is always good. The partnership includes location perfect creativity. AR developers will be able to use Niantic Spatial's VPS system to place AR content at millions of real world locations with centimeter level accuracy. People will be able to access these experiences on Snapchat and Spectacles. Growing the next generation map, Snapchatters and developers will be able to scan new locations and choose to expand the map, unlocking even more places for digital content. Advancing spatial intelligence, this shared map will enable new capabilities to understand and interact with the real world. The companies plan to bring Niantic Spatial sound technology and VPS to the Snap ecosystem through Lens Studio, Snapchat, and Spectacles later this year. This is expected to give 400,000 AR developers the ability to create digital experiences at millions of locations and enable 900 million Snapchatters through these lenses and contribute to expanding the map. This is from John Hankey. So he says, our ambition at Niantic Spatial is to build spatial intelligence that helps people and machines better understand, navigate, and engage with the physical world. Both companies are investing in spatial computing as the foundation for the next era of technology, from AR glasses to physical world AI agents. This partnership accelerates that shared vision. And then this from Evan Spiegel, the CEO and co-founder of Snap. He said, we believe that digital experience can integrate more naturally into the physical world, enabling more human-centered computing experiences. Working with Niantic Spatial as our partner, we're excited to empower developers to create more experiences that are more intuitive, immersive, and connect to the real world than ever before. In addition to building the map, Niantic's VPS system and scanning technology will give developers the ability to build lenses that connect meaningfully and persistently to the real world. For AR lenses, developers will be able to anchor their AR experience to millions of real world locations with centimeter level precision. That means not just laying effects on top of the camera view, the experience truly live in the real world, making it possible, for example, to create a lens where a virtual concert springs to life in a city square, or where a portal opens only when someone walks through a park bench. VPS makes that possible and lets multiple people see the same AR moment in the same place at the same time. It's a powerful new tool for turning public space into canvases for creativity. For AI-led experiences, VPS will unlock spatial intelligence, giving AI agents understanding of the real world with always-on location, precise navigation, and contextual awareness of their surroundings. This gives AI the power to perceive and reason about the world more like a human than a GPS system. Unlike traditional navigation tools, AI companions will be able to see the world like we do, recognizing not just places, but the qualities of those places, such as the comfiest bench, the sunniest sidewalk, the hidden courtyard. It will help us experience the world, not just move through it. Few thoughts on this now that I've gone through all of that. It mentions that people using Snapchatters will be able to expand the map. Whether that means they'll be able to submit new portal nominations via Snapchat would be interesting, or via the spectacles and take photos and that, upload them to Recon and have people review them. That's a bit of a weird thing, but I guess it could work because they'll still be taking the photos, still be at the location. I can also see why Niantic Spatial have opted for it. I think looking even at my audience for the podcast, most of the listeners are kind of late millennial Gen X. So I can see that they want to use Snapchat to pick up earlier millennials and maybe some of Gen Z that still use it. I've gone through Snapchat's marketing thing. They market themselves still as picking up a large majority of Gen Z. I don't know whether that's true, but that's how they market it. So if they've told that line to Spatial, I see that they want to pick that up and figure out how they can get Gen Z playing their games using the mapping services and obviously getting them to play Ingress. I don't know how you sell that to younger generations of what you do in the game compared to other games they can sit and play at home just fine. So it'll be interesting to see how that evolves and when we get the first kind of drop in Snapchat stuff and when we start seeing people wandering around using spectacles maybe for Ingress. That might be cool. I'll move on now to the second kind of partnership that they announced as well. This is also from Niantic Spatial's blog and says Meow Wolf and Niantic Spatial announced plans to explore an expansion of the Meow Wolf universe. First of its kind of collaboration between two immersive pioneers blending the real and surreal with augmented reality. Meow Wolf, known for their monumental story worlds and immersive multimedia art, has partnered with Niantic Spatial to bring those worlds beyond the walls of physical exhibitions and into the world of augmented reality. Niantic Spatial is a geospatial AI company transforming how people and machines understand and interact with the physical world. Together, the two companies are launching a new initiative that will open portals into the Meow Wolf universe anywhere in the world using location based AR powered by Niantic's visual positioning system technology. The partnership launched with a closed beta activation at Meow Wolf's Convergence Station in Denver later this year. This initial phase will test ways to connect real world discovery with in exhibition storytelling. If successful, the collaboration could evolve into a global multiplayer AR experience that will invite users to discover mind bending art, uncover storylines, solve spatial challenges, and participate in collaborative universe building at a massive scale. This is from Vincent Kadlubek, the Meow Wolf co-founder and chief vision officer. He said, "This partnership with Niantic Spatial will open portals to an entirely new layer of imagination. The world will become a canvas for creative expressions, a scavenger hunt for physical and digital art." And then this is from Tom Goecki, the president and chief operating officer at Niantic Spatial. They said, "Meow Wolf's narrative universe, unlike anything else, layered, non-linear, and emotionally resonant, is a perfect match for geospatial AR, where your surroundings become part of the story." While still in development, the goal is to prototype an experience where participants can engage with Meow Wolf content across city streets, parks, and public spaces, unlocking portals, discovering monumental art, and diving into layers of hidden lore. Inside Meow Wolf exhibitions, those same interactions could carry over, offering deeper story progression and access to exclusive content. Possible features under exploration include AR portals anywhere, so enter the surreal Meow Wolf universe from sidewalks, parks, or neighborhoods, and reveal a layer of digital art experience around every corner. Quests and show moments, complete scavenger hunts, solve puzzles, and build states to unlock exclusive in exhibition content and experiences. Community world building, co create the Meow Wolf universe by contributing art, characters, storylines, and quests for others to discover. This collaboration between Niantic Spatial and Meow Wolf was officially unveiled during CTO Brian McClellan's keynote at AWE. Following the announcement, attendees could head to the Niantic Spatial Lounge to learn more about the partnership. Obviously, if you were there, you could attend that. So that's kind of their second partnership on there. It sounds like it will be accessing from anywhere, it says. I assume it will be via portals that exist on Niantic Spatial. So they've got the map there. So obviously, most places are covered in portals. So it's from mostly anywhere. So I don't think they're lying about that. Just hyping it up maybe a little too much, being from literally anywhere. I've got to say, I don't know anything about Meow Wolf. It sounds like it could be interesting to do, and the bit about co-creating the universe by contributing storylines and quests sounds cool. Be nice if we could do that kind of thing in Ingress and kind of suggest quests to do with Ada or quests to do with Jarvis and how the storyline could go, and make suggestions in that way and kind of build Ingress collaboratively. That would be nice. But if it does evolve into a game that you can play, I'll certainly give it a go, just see how it is and see how it uses all the portals I've submitted and how it goes in the world. Niantic Spatial are at a few other events, as I mentioned in a previous podcast. There's more coming up, I think, next month, and towards the end of the year, there's basically AWE in Europe, which is now called United XR. I'd expect a few big announcements there as well, maybe a continuation of what they're doing here with Meow Wolf and Snapchat. So I'll certainly report on that when that happens. Then for our last bit of Ingress news, the Ingress Updates English Channel Extra posted on the 16th of June that reports are coming in of a big wave of agents being banned permanently from Ingress due to a violation of TOS. These bans seem to be a false positive, seem to be a result of Brian or another member of the team tweaking something in the back end. They're working to undo those changes and unban anyone that was affected. Brian Rose did comment on the Ingress subreddit to say, "I'm trying to go after location spoofers more aggressively, but I have a hunch some phones might be fuzzier than others, like phones older than the most popular Samsung or Google devices." So whilst it's good they're kind of going after the location spoofers, it seems like it didn't quite work. But I do applaud the effort in trying to sort out the spoofers because it can be a big issue in some areas. Whilst talking about older devices, I do just want to remind that Niantic did announce back in January that they're dropping support for 32-bit devices in order to streamline their development process and focus resources on supporting newer operating systems and technologies. So if you do have a 32-bit device, that support is scheduled for this month. So if you're on an old device and can't play, that's intentional. So you would need to upgrade your device if you want to carry on playing Ingress. But I say they did give plenty of notice announcing it back in January. It's just now coming into effect. There's a few agents seen posting about it. Finally, for Ingress news, because next week will be episode 100 and won't have any the kind of regular news, I want to cover what's coming up in July. So in July, we've got first Saturday on the 5th of July. So for that, you can look on Fev Games and see where there's first Saturdays in your area, participate with other agents and get a tick on your first Saturday badge. 13th of July is second Sunday. So that's from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. local time. And there you just need to complete one of the second Sunday campaigns, such as uploading scans, reclaiming Machina, doing missions. I forget the fourth one off the top of my head. I think it's all-time unique portal visits. Yes. So if you do one of those and claim, then you'll increase your second Sunday medal by 1 count. We've got no anomalies or skirmishes or anything like that in July, but we do have the first of 2 global campaigns. So on the 19th of July to the 3rd of August, it's the Plus Delta Global Campaign Rezo, which if you're not familiar, is what people tend to call resonators. So you say a level 1 reso or whatever. So I'd guess that's to do with deploying resonators and portals and maybe using certain amount of resonators and themed around that. We don't have any more details yet. It just says stay prepared for new directives, but that's coming up on the 19th of July and then runs, as I said, until the 3rd of August. Once we get any more details on that, then I'll be sure to report it here on the podcast. But that's what we've got coming up for July. That's about all the Ingress news I've got. We don't have an update or anything for the app yet. It's been about 4 weeks since, and they did say that the time would slow down on those releases. There's also no further update for Recon as yet, so anything that you're submitting is kind of going to a queue on forever hold whilst we're waiting to enough backlog to build up. Just want to remind you, if you are submitting things through Ingress, those are now going to Recon, which no one can access yet to review. If you're submitting things via Pokemon Go, those are going to Wayfarer, where there are people to review, but anything you submit in Pokemon Go won't show up in Ingress and vice versa. So just make sure you're submitting where you want the things to go. If you do want it to go into both Ingress and Pokemon Go, you need to submit twice. You can just copy and paste the descriptions from the email you get from one of them to go over into the next one. I have no idea when Recon is launching. There's kind of a copy paste response to support send out when people ask about Recon that basically says, we don't know, but we know you're excited about it. But hopefully, if you get an update before the end of the year, fingers crossed. For now, I'm uploading things and adding to that queue so it's ready to go a bit sooner if possible. But that's all I've got for this time, so I'll move on now to get things all wrapped up. Hey agents, for today's episode we have a sponsor that I want to talk about. I'm going to tell you about a fancy new tea I've tried called XP Brew. XP Brew is clean energy tea intended for long gaming sessions, so whether you're going out and getting your plus Theta bounties done or just chilling on the sofa with your Switch or PlayStation, this tea gives you a nice good energy kick without the crash of energy drinks. All you need to do is boil your kettle, put the tea powder in your favourite mug with the boiling water and give it a stir. I do want to highlight one flavour this week, which is my favourite one, which is dark choc cherry, and that you can either get by itself or in the Mano Mix pack, which gives you 2 separate packs of each flavour if you want to try them all out. What I say next about the flavour might sound really negative, but is a positive. So for me, I think it smells and tastes like hot Dr. Pepper, which is quite delicious, strangely. You can see all the ingredients for it on the website, which I'll link to in the show notes. You can see there's nothing nefarious in there. It's just clean energy stuff, vitamins, all the good stuff. So do check it out at XP Brew and see their other flavors they've got available as well, like the spicy passion one, which is quite nice too. And then let me know what you think if you do try it. I'd be interested to hear. Thanks again to XP Brew for the sponsorship.
Hey, this is Sim, Global Product Marketing Lead for Peridot, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
Thank you, Agent Solis, for this week's episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. Next week is definitely 100% episode 100, so I hope you listen to that and enjoy that episode and all the things that are to come in that. The Plus Data Anomaly season will still be sort of going on by the time of the next episode, because it'll be the 29th, so it'll be just the badges finishing off being distributed and we're waiting for the plus Delta start doesn't really start until the 19th of July, but we may get a few more details and see what the badge looks like and things like that as we kick off nearer to July. We may also have an app update as well. Like I said, it's been about 4 weeks, so hopefully there's one coming that updates a few little things on there. But who knows what we've got coming up next for Ingress? I don't, but I'm keen to see what happens and hope you keep listening and hope you all have a great Sunday. Hope it's a lot cooler for all of you here than it is for me in the UK. I'm currently melting here. It's about 30 degrees, about 85, 86 Fahrenheit off the top of my head. Far too warm for me. I'm wishing for rain. So hope you have a great Sunday and happy hacking, agents. Thank you, agents, for listening to the latest episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. If you'd like to help the podcast out, you can do that in a few ways. So first of all, rating the podcast on the podcast service you're listening to is always a great help, as well as leaving any comments on YouTube or Spotify if you're able to do that if you're listening on those channels. Ingress Insights also has a merch store over at tpublic.com/user/ingress-insights, where you can pick up badges and pins and t-shirts with the Ingress Insights logo on, and a few other little bits. There's also the Ko-fi store page, which has previous episodes of the podcast if you want to download those. They'll be out in batches over the next few months. You can also follow us on social media. So the main one we use is Instagram, which is under the name ingress.insights. And we also have a Blue Sky and a Threads, which you can find linked on the show notes to follow on there. If you have any feedback or episodes you'd like to see, or bonus episodes, things you want to cover, or you want to come on and chat about your experience playing Ingress, do let me know. You can contact us via email as well. And the email address is just ingressinsights@gmail.com. So you can send us anything there, voice messages, things you want me to discuss in future episodes, or anything you think I've missed and need to cover next time. Thank you again for listening, agents. Hope you have a great day and happy hacking.
Intel package transferred.